It's the first house of the day to receive a solar-powered hot water boiler. The workers have to be careful with the heavy load, as there is a strong wind blowing again. The township residents do all the work themselves.
Even in the weather like this, you still have hot water here. It's cold outside and it's raining outside, but we don't run out of hot water.
More than 2,300 houses here have been equipped with the new boilers, giving thousands of residents hot running water for the first time. The boilers come courtesy of the Kuyasa project, which has been awarded the gold standard seal as a certified climate protection project. The certification allows the sale of carbon emission credits, thereby generating income for the project.
The key thing here is the sustainability of the project, is that you can't just slap a solar water heater on a roof in this environment and then just leave it and walk away. Because when it needs to be maintained, no one has the income and to do that maintenance or the wherewithal to do it. So the sustainability of this project depends on carbon income to provide the ongoing monitoring, maintenance, upkeep and eventual replacement of the technology that we've installed. So that idea of this community coming together, doing something for themselves around climate change, around their own specific climate, if you like, the climate inside their homes.
They're all here, daycare teachers and housewives representing the whole community. Everyone has a say in the project. They're discussing how to improve their own lives, which, alongside environmental protection, is a decisive criteria for awarding the gold standard seal. Time to tour the neighbourhood. The foundation that awards the certificates wants to make sure the guidelines are being followed properly. Heba Rabi is the Gold Standard Foundation's Africa coordinator, based in Cairo. Today, the locals are telling her how their everyday lives have improved. This township is the biggest in Cape Town. It dates back to the apartheid era. Nobody knows exactly how many people live here. Every day, new huts are built, as more people migrate here from rural areas in search of work. If they do manage to find a job, it's in the city, almost 30 kilometers away. Cape Town, South Africa's second largest city, depends heavily on tourism. But industrial production also plays a role in the local economy. Here in this Midtown office, Heba Rabi is running a Gold Standard Foundation workshop. More than 50 private sector and state-affiliated institutions support its work. Participants here want to know how they'll benefit from the certification, because registration is both complex and costly.
A lot of these project developers have projects that are gold standard projects, and they need guidance on the different steps that they go through their crediting procedures.
The project developers approve of the idea of a certificate, but the bureaucracy and long processing times involved make their jobs more difficult.
But I actually think this is a really good step.
You don't know if it'll turn out well. Probably more important than that, you don't know when it will turn out well. So you have a buyer on one hand, and he wants his or her carbon credit, and they want it as soon as possible. And you have to say to them, no, it's coming in 6 months' time. But if that 6 months turns into 2 years, obviously you have a problem on your hands, and that can be difficult to explain and difficult to manage as a project developer.
In Kuyasa, certificates have been issued. Now the people here need a buyer for the emissions credits. The project has provided jobs for 87 people here, including the physically challenged. They've now stopped importing the solar boilers from China, using locally produced ones instead. Another part of the climate protection project is the installation of ceilings. Without them, the interiors become damp, with water condensing on the walls. The Span family is the first to receive a new ceiling. Now they don't have to run the heater as much, cutting their heating oil costs in half.
No, it's warm, and the wind no longer whistles through the cracks.
Zuku Ndamane has also noticed the improvement. His son used to cough a lot and was often sick.
The health that people used to suffer from, which is flu and TB, the number has gone down now. And then the clinic that is here recently, I had nurses who went to the site office, wanted to speak to me, to thank, which it's when I realized that we were doing, there was an impact that has been done by this project, a huge one.
In Kuyasa, they hope to carry out modernisation work on a lot more homes. They've already cut CO2 emissions by 6,000 tonnes a year. Their target is 10,000 tonnes, by which point the project would pay for itself.